Welcome to Stuck in the Kernfield, where we explore Illinois. A while back, I did a video about the 10 states where Illinoisans are moving. Among those states was Texas. I recently had the chance to go to Texas, and it was not quite what I had imagined. I was thinking that it would be wide open spaces, but the reality was that as soon as I hit Texarkana, I had to deal with wall-to-wall traffic and then freeways all the way to San Antonio. It was almost like dealing with 7 hours of Chicago traffic. So then I thought to myself that maybe too many people from the Prairie State are going there and clogging up the roads. Maybe the people who are leaving Illinois need some alternative suggestions, so I got out my handy-dandy atlas and statistical websites to find 10 locations that an Illinoisan could consider if they want to leave. So here are 10 places in no particular order for Illinoisans to move to. Weirton, West Virginia. I bet when I said West Virginia, you thought something along the lines of, West Virginia, are you kidding me? But hear me out. Weirton is located in the northern panhandle of West Virginia, which is that little stick thing that juts up out of the state like an antenna on a weird bug. The city is unique from a geographical standpoint. The eastern edge of the town borders Pennsylvania, and the western edge borders Ohio. It's one of only 3 cities to border 2 other states on 2 sides and its own state on the other 2 sides. What that means is that it's fairly close to communities in those other 2 states. It's across the river from Steubenville, Ohio, and about 35 miles from Pittsburgh. It's about 30 miles from the Pittsburgh airport, so traveling to and from is easy enough. Weirton has a low cost of living, with homes that are 46% below the national average, with a median home price of $95,000. You can take advantage of living in a low-cost area, but work in Ohio or Pennsylvania and earn more. Or you can get a job in this town where the median household income is $48,775, and you'd be fine, because it's so cheap to live there. This city has a population of 18,894, so it has most things that a city should have to be self-sufficient. The poverty rate is 13.7%, which sounds bad, but that's actually below the national rate of 15.1%. This town doesn't have a lot of crime. Their crime rate is 78% below the national average, and the chance of being the victim of a crime is 1 in 185. Another cool thing about Weirton is that the J.J. Abrams movie, Super 8, starring Kyle Chandler, was shot in this town. Columbus, Nebraska. Some people like a rural community, but they don't like the high taxes in Illinois. For those people, I suggest taking a look at Columbus, Nebraska. It's a community of 22,992. According to taxfoundation.org, Illinois has the 5th highest tax burden, while Nebraska is ranked 30th. However, Nebraska is one state that doesn't exempt Social Security income from taxation, so that may be something to consider if you're of a certain age. The median household income is $59,894. Since this is a rural city, a lot of the jobs are in agriculture and manufacturing, but they also have jobs in healthcare, education, and construction. They have a poverty rate of 8.58%. This area has a low cost of living, so the average home price is $140,500. They also have a better than average crime rate. It's 34% below the national average, and the chance of being a victim of a crime is 1 in 61. Hershey, Pennsylvania. One of the things about Illinois that I hear people complaining about, regardless of which side of the aisle they identify, is the politics of the state. Everyone outside of the state thinks of Illinois as a blue state because in every presidential election since 1992, when Bill Clinton flipped the state, it has gone for the Democrat. Because of that, I hear Republicans complaining about how their votes don't count. That's a bit disingenuous when you look at the other elections that take place throughout the state. The majority of Illinois' counties are Republican, so the state is filled with Republican mayors, council members, and elected officials. From the Democrats, I hear that their votes don't count as much as other states because of the fact that in the general election it is so reliably blue. For these people, I think I have found a solution. Pennsylvania. Think about it. Pennsylvania is a politically divided state. There are approximately an equal number of Republicans to Democrats, so it becomes a swing state to watch during every presidential election cycle, and it feels like your vote counts more. They have 1 Republican and 1 Democratic senator. Another cool thing about Pennsylvania is that the lieutenant governor and governor are picked independently of each other by the people and then put on a ticket together for the general election. They also have a split government at the moment, with a Democratic governor and a Republican legislative body. Hershey is a town of 14,542 located in Dauphin County, where quite a few of the Amish live, so it's similar to central Illinois in that regard. The median household income is $62,834. The poverty rate is better than average at 7.51%. This area has quite a few jobs available, both in Hershey and the surrounding community of Harrisburg, in healthcare, veterinary science, government, and a variety of other fields. Homes are a little bit pricier than the national average at $270,700, but that also indicates that the area retains a high resale value, which could come in handy if you think you'll need to downsize in the future. Based on what I could find online, it looks like rental properties run around $1,400 per month. Crime is 56% below the national average, and the chance of being a victim of a crime is 1 in 91. Whitefish, Montana. For the outdoorsy types who are considering Colorado, I offer Whitefish, Montana as an alternative. Whitefish is a small town of 7,309 people in the northwest portion of the state. Despite the fact that this area averages 65 inches of snow each year, the people in this community have found ways of staying active. They host the Whitefish Trail Legacy Run in October. They have the Glacier Challenge, in which participants cover 50 miles by running, biking, kayaking, and canoeing. They host the World Indoor Golf Championship every year, and they have a non-profit baseball team called the Glacier Twins. Montana also has big game hunting. In addition to the sports activities, Whitefish also supports the arts. They host the Huckleberry Days Arts Festival, the Whitefish Arts Festival, and the Under the Big Sky Music Festival. They also have an event called the Whitefish Trail Hootenanny, and who doesn't love a good hootenanny? The median household income in Whitefish is $51,059, which is lower than the national average, but higher than the Montana average. The poverty rate is 9.92%, so most people are doing alright there. The only drawback I found is that the real estate is a little bit pricier. The median home price is $348,600, but that could be because there are celebrities living in this town, which drives up the average price. Actor Kiefer Sutherland, as well as several professional athletes, call Whitefish home at least part of the time. Milford, New Hampshire. Milford is a town of 9,168 people in the southern portion of New Hampshire. It's an hour's drive to Boston and about 4 hours to New York City for those who like to occasionally experience the energy of a big city but don't want to live in one. The median household income in Milford is $66,270, which is better than the national average. The most common industries are manufacturing, healthcare, and retail. While looking over the jobs data, I found that they have a restaurant called Wicked Pissa Chowder there, so that's fun. I wish I could do a New England accent to do justice to the name, but sadly I can only do Midwestern. As with most towns this size, there is very little crime. It's 78% below the national crime rate. The chance of being a victim of a crime is only 1 in 182. They have a 4.93% poverty rate, and the average home price is $228,700. Clearfield, Utah. Utah is mostly known for being the state overrun with Mormons and for Mitt Romney, so you might have to deal with people knocking on your door trying to convert you. It's the only state where a majority of the residents belong to a single church, so they tend to be socially conservative. The state controls all alcohol sales, and in some locations, sales are banned on Sundays, and gambling has been outlawed. But if you don't have an issue with any of that, Utah has a lot to offer. According to the state's website, they have 44 state parks. They also have 5 national parks and several ski resorts. One thing that Illinoisans complain about is taxation, so let's compare the two states. Utah has a flat income tax of 5%, so Illinoisans are used to that because they currently have an income tax of 4.95%. Their sales tax of 6.45% is lower than Illinois' tax rate. Property taxes in Utah are based at the county level, but the average is 0.6% of the assessed value, so homeowners in Utah pay less than those in Illinois. So overall, someone moving from Illinois to Utah would see their dollars go farther. Clearfield is located in the northern part of the state, with a population of 31,016. They have a median household income of $56,213. The poverty rate is 9.72%, so it's better than the national and state averages. The crime is low, with a rate that is 47% below the national average, and the chance of being the victim of a crime is 1 in 76. The median home price is $174,300, so with that combined with a low property tax, Illinoisans can save quite a bit by making the move. Washougal, Washington. Washougal is a town of 15,484 in the southwest portion of the state on the Columbia River, which forms the border of Oregon, so it's about a half-hour drive from Portland and 20 minutes to Vancouver, Washington. It's not far from the ocean, so you could take a day trip. The median home price for this town is $295,600, which is higher than the national average, but considering that the closer you get to the ocean, the more expensive houses tend to be, it isn't that bad. The median household income is also higher than average at $87,283. Some of the most prevalent industries in this community are healthcare, retail sales, manufacturing, and construction. The poverty rate is 7.6%, which is considerably better than the state and national averages. Crime is at a fairly low level, it's 36% below the national average, and the chance of being the victim of a crime is 1 in 63. James Island, South Carolina. Many people who leave Illinois are looking for warmer weather, and they end up in places like Georgia or Florida, but another option to consider is South Carolina. It too has balmy, tropical-like summer weather and mild winters. If you would like to live right next to the ocean, James Island might be for you. The housing market isn't as insane as it is in some coastal communities. The median home price is $272,000. This is also a good choice for people who like a suburban setting. This town of 12,010 people is part of the Charleston, South Carolina metropolitan area. It's only a 7-minute drive to the city. Despite being so close to the city, the crime rate is 44% below the national rate, and the chance of being a victim of a crime is 1 in 73. The median household income is above the national average and is considerably higher than the South Carolina average at $78,688. The poverty rate is only 4.79%, which is about 1/3 of the national rate. Fun fact, Stephen Colbert spent part of his childhood in James Island. Los Alamos, New Mexico. If you have ever considered moving to the Southwest, Los Alamos, New Mexico might be a good fit, particularly if you work in the fields of science or education. This town is where the Manhattan Project took place during World War II, and since that time, the Los Alamos National Laboratory has been established in this area. In addition to those fields, the job listings for this city show that there are opportunities in accounting, human resources, healthcare, and security. The state of New Mexico has quite a bit of poverty, but Los Alamos has a poverty rate of only 6.55%. The median household income is $106,288, and according to the LA Monitor, Los Alamos has the highest concentration of millionaires of any city in the US. That's out of a population of 12,373. The median home price is $295,600, which is higher than the national average, but with the higher wages in the city, it isn't that crazy. Crime is 83% below the national average. The chance of being a victim of a crime is only 1 in 232. Los Alamos, despite being a small city, has quite a few things to do. There are hiking trails, museums, and art galleries. Wake Forest, North Carolina. Wake Forest is a town of 40,159 in the center of North Carolina. This is a community in the south where one can still experience the winter season, but without the extreme cold that can be felt in some parts of the country. The winter temperature in Wake Forest usually runs between 30 and 50 degrees, and the summer months usually have a temperature of 80 to 90 degrees. Better weather means that you can get out and see everything that Wake Forest has to offer. This city has several historical sites to see. They have 10 parks, as well as the Falls Lake State Recreation Area. There are also plenty of places to shop if that's more your speed. This is a safe community with a crime rate that is 64% below the national average. The chance of being a victim of a crime is 1 in 111. The median household income is higher than average at $88,394, and the poverty rate is only 5.83%. A higher income translates to higher home value, with the median home price at $285,000. The most common industries in Wake Forest are healthcare, education, science, manufacturing, and retail, so there's a wide variety of jobs available. What do you think? Would you consider moving to any of these areas? Leave a comment letting me know if there are any other areas that I should review. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up. If you really liked it, don't forget to subscribe to show your support. It really does help the channel to grow. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I remain stuck in the cornfield.